Hey guys, I'm just here to tell you if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. And let me just explain to you, it's free. There's certain tools to allow you to record and edit podcasts right from your phone or computer. How convenient is that? Anchor would distribute your podcast for you, and it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. Download the free Anchor app and go to Anchor.fm and get started. Hey guys, welcome back to a Daily Dose of Love pod. I'm your host, Tasha Bradley. I'd like to give a big shout out to our listeners over in Ireland and also our listeners in the Philippines. Thank you all for tuning in. Hey guys, welcome to a Daily Dose of Love pod. It's Hump Day. Happy Wednesday, everyone. I'd like to thank you all for coming back. I had an awesome time with you all last week with our podcast asking 5 things that you loved about yourself. You guys have reached out to me, and a lot of you all are still working on your list, and some of you have completed it. I'd like for y'all to leave a message for me and let me know the 5 things that you're loving about yourself. If you have more than 5, that's perfectly fine. And if you're still working on it, or if you just have 1, let me know that as well. Okay? So let me know what's going on with your list of how you're loving yourself and how many things you're loving about yourself. In today's episode, I'd like to discuss toxic relationships. What's going on with us guys in accepting toxic as the norm now? What's up with that? Why is it that toxic relationships have become our norm? It's okay. We have to do better. And that starts with choosing you. Self-love allows you to choose you on a daily basis. It's time we got to get rid of toxic, guys. It's 2021. We have to start saying that's a red flag and run it. We used to run from red flags. Now it seems as though red flags just don't mean anything. It's like it means go like green, you know? It's like, no, that's a red flag. Stop. We have to get back to that. We're comfortable now with toxic. We're comfortable now with being disrespected. We have to change that. We're being lied to, disappointed daily. How many days, how many weeks, how many months out of this year are you going to waste on feeling bad about yourself because you're involved in something toxic? And toxic could be with a coworker, a friend you've known your entire life. Not necessarily just relationship-wise. I'm talking toxic relationship across the board. Siblings. Just that the person that makes you feel bad all the time about yourself. The person that is always negative. The person who just never has anything good to say. That's draining. That's draining you of your self-worth. The person who's always telling you, you're crazy to think that. That you're being too sensitive. That you're overreacting. You know those people in your life. It's time to say enough is enough. That today I'm choosing me. I have to choose me for my self-love journey. Because I've given you enough. You've drained me enough. I need a break. I have to work on me. And when you're around toxic people, you will never become the best version of yourself. Toxic people are just so negative. They're so draining. They never take responsibility for their own actions. All toxic people do is blame and point fingers. If you're tired of someone blaming you and pointing fingers and never taking responsibility for their actions of why you may have reacted the way that you are, it's time to remove that red flag. If a person is always trying to control you and doesn't appreciate you and your individuality, that's a problem. If you're complaining about the same behavior patterns that a person has yet to correct, how much more are you going to hold on to that? Don't you deserve changes? If someone loves you and if they're trying to get out of those toxic traits, they're willing to seek help, whether it's through therapy or whatever they have to do to better themselves. That's what they'll do. But most people who are so stuck in their toxic ways, who have yet to even know that they're toxic because that's their norm, that's who they've always been, that's how they've always loved, that's how they've always been loved. So they wouldn't know. They think that you're the bad guy, you're the person who needs help. And now, because of that, you become comfortable being in this toxic, unhealthy relationship. In 2021, don't allow toxic to become your norm. It's time to break out of that. It's time for us to get back into character traits. You know, the character traits show a person's underlying values or beliefs. We have to get back to that. We have to get back to someone's integrity, loyalty, devotion, kindness, to be treated kind, someone's sincerity, someone who boosts your self-esteem, and someone who's self-controlled. There are things to look for. And also, always maintain your identity as an individual. The day that you can't remain who you were when you met that person, you have to change because of them, that's already a sign that this isn't the person for you. We have to get a hold of how we allow people to love us. And to get away from unhealthy, someone who doesn't want to see you grow, to see you make changes. You know, we're all, as human beings, we're going to change through the years. That's called growth. So you're not going to be the same person you were 3 months ago, 6 months ago, 2 years ago. You know, growth comes along. And sometimes when you're in love, somebody's not necessarily outgrowing the other person, but they're making changes that this other person is intimidated by. People get intimidated by your growth. They'd rather you walk with your head down and not have your self-esteem at an all-time high 10. That's how they're controlling you. That's how they're keeping you under them. The more you love yourself, the more you're going to value being treated with so much love and respect. And not disrespect. And not disappointment. And not having you always questioning, what more could I have done? Did I say the wrong thing? Why did I do that? You're always questioning what you have done wrong. That's what toxic does. It makes you think everything is your fault. Because most times people can't take responsibility for their own actions. They can't say, I'm sorry, I'm willing to change. Let me work on me, because I love you enough to work on me. to make this relationship healthy. There have been people who started off toxic who became healthy because they were both committed to changing their ways, to growing, to accepting each other as individuals, to not trying to change each other, but to love and accept each other's flaws, to build each other's weaknesses up, to strengthen them. You know, love is all things kind. Love is all things loyal, where you don't have to worry about what they're doing behind your back. Their integrity, you know, you could trust what they say, what they do, because their word is everything, who they are and what they represent. We just have to get better when it comes to cutting toxic people. And sometimes people are afraid to be alone, to start over, because everybody wants to be in a relationship. And that's why I think toxic is overlooked and it's become the norm, because so many people are just desperate to have somebody that they so-called quote-unquote love. Because to them, being alone means lonely, when being alone time should be work on me time, to let me see what type of flaws I need to work on. What are my red flags? You know, and why am I attracting all these red flags? Maybe I am a red flag. Maybe I need to work on me, and it's just not always someone else. You know, we have to take a deep look at ourselves as well. I think we all have toxic traits. It's just that some are more drastic than others, but when you want your way and people to do things to your likings, I think that's all, you know, controlling someone. But you have to have your self-control and your self-respect, and just to stop allowing people to just do whatever they choose, and you accept whatever just to be in someone's life or to have them in yours. You have to set boundaries. You have to have self-respect. You have to get back your self-worth. These are things that you need to work on. You have to be true to yourself. And sometimes being true to yourself means I need to let this person go. I need to better me, because the way I'm being loved isn't healthy for me. It's no longer working for me. I'm tired of overlooking. I'm tired of waiting for changes to come. I'm tired of being disappointed. And I'm tired of just being disrespected. I'm tired of all of the red flags, and I need change. I'm ready to embrace a healthier way of loving someone and being loved in return. So we all need to work on those traits of red flags, you know? It's time to cut ties with them, guys. I want you all to leave me a voice message at the end of this episode. Let me know what your concerns are. Let me know what you appreciate. Let me know what you need to hear more of as we are growing together, as we are encouraging each other and empowering each other to love ourselves daily. We have to embrace loving ourselves. The more you love yourself, the better choices you'll make to be loved. Get rid of toxic people. It's time that they go, guys. It's time that you can feel good about yourself and feel good about the relationship and how you're being loved. And if a person isn't willing to work on themselves, then that's a sign right there that they're not trying to grow, that they don't have a problem, that they're fine. So I hope we all stay on our journey of embracing self-love and spreading love to all those around us. Get back into wanting to be treated well, wanting to be loved properly. Love shouldn't always feel bad. Love shouldn't always make you cry. Love shouldn't always hurt. Love shouldn't always have you second guessing yourself. Love shouldn't do those things. Love should build you up. Love should make you better. Okay? So, work on cutting some ties, guys. And I need you all to spread the word about Daily Dose of Love podcast. I need you all to tune in every Wednesday and see what's going on with our next episode. In our next episode, we're going to be discussing body images. What's going on with our bodies and the images of all these IG models and fake this, fake that. Nobody's appreciating the real deal anymore. We'll discuss body images on our next episode. I thank you all for tuning in. Remember, get rid of toxic and embrace healthy. We are no longer accepting being loved miserably, disrespected, lied to, disappointed. We're getting rid of that. Okay? Choose you. Daily. Choose you. Thank you for tuning in. Remember, to thy own self be true. Always stand up for what's right. Always want to be treated with self-respect and dignity.